So today we're really actually making bread. So last night you had out the bread starter and it sat for 8 hours. And now this morning, maybe you've had breakfast, I just did. It's about 8 o'clock. I'm getting ready to make the bread today. So to 1 pint of water, I add a heaping teaspoon of salt and a heaping teaspoon of honey. And I mix these guys up, and there's my overnight bread starter there. We did that last night in the previous video. And we're going to add today, there's 1 cup of rye flour to that mixture. And I usually add that first and then add the water. The water has the salt and honey in it. Some people put the salt in dry, but I like to put it in wet. It works well for me. So each step of the way, mix thoroughly before you add any more flour. So in this process this morning, we're going to have 2 cups of rye flour and 3 cups of whole wheat flour. And that'll make it half and half rye and whole wheat. Because in the previous mixture you had, there's my 2nd cup of rye. In the previous mixture you had at least a cup of rye, so it'll be about 3 and 3. But today it's 2 cups of rye and then up to 3 cups of wheat. Mix thoroughly each time. I'm showing you that we found some biodynamic whole wheat flour. That's very nice. So here's the first wheat. That bowl is big enough for this process. It doesn't have to be that big. That's going to be 1 loaf of bread. We're listening to my friend, the great Willis Miller, playing some Beethoven for us this morning. There's my 2nd cup of whole wheat, so that's now 4 cups of flour this morning. That's a great little plastic tool there. That's a bread tool. Just a piece of plastic, but it's marvelous for kneading in a bowl. This would be terribly sticky for your hands. It's a rainy day here in Austin. There's almost my 3rd cup of whole wheat. Don't add any more than 5 cups total. So the 2 rye and the 3 whole wheat, don't add any more than that. It'll still feel a little wetter than normal, but you need a little extra moisture in this kind of bread. There's really quite a lot of kneading here. I've cut through a lot of tape here for compression, but it's probably half an hour of solid work. If you aren't a masseur, or if you haven't practiced it, it's pretty tiring. So that's the last of my whole wheat. And I'll just keep working that until there's no more dry spots in it. And the dough starts to get pretty sticky, and it's pulling away on the tool and pulling away on the bowl. You see it's forming a nice ball now. But like I say, it's about half an hour of kneading. That's a lot of work. So now we get, I have a wooden bowl, and I add some good vegetable oil to it, maybe a teaspoon, and spread it around in the bowl. And then any extra, put on your hands, because you're going to grab that You're going to grab that ball of dough in a minute. So you drop the ball into the wooden bowl with the oil, and pick it up and shape it, and drop it back in. And cover it. And that's going to sit now. This is still morning, like 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock. So 5 hours later then, it has grown a little more, and you're getting ready to bake now. I put a little cornmeal on a wooden paddle. I put too much, so I put some in my little cup there. So that wooden paddle now has cornmeal on it. And now that has to be kneaded one last time. This kneading is maybe only 5 minutes at most. Mainly you're getting it back down to the size it was in the early morning. Now you're shaping it into a nice loaf. Put it on the cornmeal and cover it. Now this is called proofing, and now for an hour you're going to heat your bread stone. I have a nice pizza stone. Now this is an hour later. It's grown a little bit again. Cut the crust, cut the top a couple of slices so that it can expand. There's the hot stone now with cornmeal going on it. That's a 400-degree oven. 400-degree oven, and get that bread to fall off this. That's what the cornmeal is for, so it comes off the paddle. There it is, 400 degrees, 1 hour. Actually, 50 minutes is better. 50 minutes of baking, and you're done. Beautiful, beautiful loaf. Don't cut into it for a couple hours. Let it cool. So, bye-bye.